Shit on top of shit is still shit. And you guys keep telling me, well, this guy here, it's going to be a complete upgrade. He's going to turn this defense around, and he'll turn his defense around in whatever. And I'm like, no, he's not. That's our level. We are right. Brian, think about it. Think about it for a second here. You got a lame duck coach, you got two coordinators that you're not sure of, and you got a personnel guy who can't pick college scouting, and he's not very good, or at least defense. And you got to determine whether or not you're going to pay for success. The problem that I have also with the Eagles are people saying this: let's go get this guy in free agency. No, it's not what you do. Because you know why? You're cheap. You don't buy the big bottle of wine or the big bottle of champagne like Dom Perignon. You buy Asti Spumante and put a sugar tablet in it and call it a great champagne. You're cheap. My grandfather did that, by the way, and I love that. So, hey, I'm not taking too much of a shit on that. Okay? Sills, so the fans can't be optimistic about the new staff? Optimistic? Is that, so you mean like rooting? So like rooting, for hoping? Oh, yeah, sure. I don't do that. I don't root for anything like that. I like certainties. Okay? Is he good or not? Well, I hope he's good, and I hope he's this. I hope I hit the lottery. I hope my girlfriend don't cheat on me. I hope this guy's not a bad guy. Hey, whatever. It's stupid shit when you talk like that. Okay? Stupid shit. That's right. Kings fan, thank you very much. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. Awesome. A.J. Brown wasn't cheap. Offense. No shit. I told, and once again, look at Bleed Green, listening to once again, like some of you stonads. Half of what I say. You spend money and equity on offense. You don't know what you're doing on defense. When's the last time you had a good defense? Last year? Let's take a look at this. Last year, right? Is that fair? Is last year you had a good defense? 17-22. All right. Let's take a look at this. Let's go with your front four. Hardgrave. Bought and paid for. Okay. No homegrown. Reddick. No homegrown. Edge. Kaiser White. Free agent. Safety. Trade. Bradbury. Free agent. Gardner Johnson. Trade. Epps. So you have of year 11 of a year ago, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of your 11 guys were not homegrown on your so-called good defense in 22. You can't draft. Chris goes Queen and Winfield. Well, look at Chris here. Chris says Queen and Winfield. I'll show you how unrealistic Big Chris is. Winfield's 18.4 for safety. And Queen's 21 million for a linebacker. That's 39.4 million for two. A linebacker and a safety. So, Chris, do you think your general manager is going to spend $39 million, $40 million for a safety and linebacker? I'll leave it up to you. What do you think, Chris? Is your general manager the Billy Bean of the NFL? Okay? Are you going to spend? No. I thought the argument was we don't sign free agents. No. You don't spend money on high-priced free agents. The highest paid defender right now you have is Reddick at, the corners. Well, isn't it funny? The three guys that you've paid the most money for, you didn't player develop. You had to go buy them because you're not good at it. Okay? Sills, you just said we don't sign big name free agents. You don't. You sign guys who have been cut. Who's a big free agent you signed on defense? Who? Reddick was the guy that was cut from Carolina. Okay? That's not true on defense. The two corners are not yours. The Gardner Johnson wasn't yours. Reddick's not yours. Hardgrave wasn't yours. Seven of the 11 starters on defense were not homegrown. So will you not answer? Are you going to spend $20 million on Patrick Queen and $18.4 million on Anton Winfield Jr.? Are you going to do that? Yes or no? Flexen. They come here. Hey, Flexen, always remember something. Just like Xander said, the wonderful thing about it, they come here every day, rain or shine, for 4 hours most of the time, type the same shit, and I thank them for showing up. I suck. Everyone else is better. That's all right. I hate that. I'm saying this, but we should change the Eagles' name to the Philadelphia Band-Aids. Okay? Every day they come here, type the same stuff. By the way, I'll tell you. So I'll tell you, Xander, I'll tell him a little cute story. One of the things that I really love about these last 2 weeks with our show, I got to hand it to the Krauses. They love Big Sills. Xander, they love Big Sills because if they didn't, holy shit, man. Yes, sir. I promised I wouldn't say a few names, so I promised I'm not doing it anymore. But I'll say, look at Big Chris saying that Queen's not worth $20 million. Dude, his market value is $21.2 million. Not worth 20. Roquan Smith just got 21 from Baltimore. Absolutely. Edrin Cooper, I would love to draft him. I would absolutely love it, man. Thank you, DC. We really appreciate it, man. Okay? Thank you very much. Absolutely. Wayne, you're wonderful for showing. Thank you. Okay, Sills. No optimism, but you can knee pad Hurts. DL coach because number, what is the hey Bob, do me a favor. You know, you can probably put that in Google and it'll help you formulate some sentences. If not, I'm sure like someone can help you at home. I hope you're okay and feeling right and you're not having a stroke because I have no idea what you're saying there, kid. Are you all right? You having a stroke? What e. Okay. Hey, I'm just here to help. Google it, kid. Might be able to help yourself out a little bit there. Hey, we're going to come up with a lot of new prizes here for some folks that show up every day. You know, it's crazy great. Some of you in here like flexing, get this. Yeah, man, I've sucked for 35 years on the air. It's been crazy, isn't it? I don't know how we get it done. Okay. Look at Matt. Matt sounds like Xander now. Sills is definitely an outstanding heel. What do you know about wrestling, man? Come on, Matt. Okay. So if we gave Queen $20 million a year, would you say it's smart or dumb? It'd be shocking. Here, how about this, Chris? You give a guy who's a really great ball player $20 million a year, and he could stabilize your middle of your defense for the next decade. You think that's smart, paying a guy $20 million when the cap is going to continue to go up, and you got yourself a 24-year-old middle linebacker that you could build your team around? Might actually help your tackle play in front of you too. Do you think that would be a good idea or a bad idea? Don't ask a stupid-ass question. What do you think, guy? You have a young 24-year-old guy who's one of the top inside linebackers in the game. He could stabilize your linebacker position, which you sucked for decades at, help your tackle play, and not have to worry about the position for a decade. You think that's a good idea or a bad idea? I don't know. What do you think? Good linebackers? What did it do for you last year? You couldn't replace Kaiser. You know what's crazy? You guys keep telling me, was Kaiser White a good ball player for you? Was Kaiser White a good ball player for you? Was he a good ball player? Okay. You couldn't replace him. Look at Rico, serviceable. Okay, let's use Rico's name. Let's use Rico's take. You couldn't replace a serviceable linebacker? You couldn't replace, like LJ says, a nobody? I'm just using your words. He had 117 tackles. Brian says you couldn't replace an okay player who had 117 tackles? Kaiser White had 117 tackles on the 22 defense. And you couldn't replace a nobody, an all right, a serviceable linebacker. These are your words. These are your words. You couldn't replace a serviceable linebacker. Chris is right. Better than any of this year's scrubs. That's the point, Chris. And now you guys are gonna say that how he's gonna spend money on linebacker. There's actual people on my network and on the air in Philly saying, "Hey, Patrick Queen, one of these big time linebackers." I gave you the list and the price tag in the shopping list. Here's the shopping list with market value on what these players are going to command in the open market. Hey, get this. You know what really sucks? Is that the salary cap did go up. You guys are right. $255 million. Well, that price some of those defenders out of your league because you know why? Your GM refuses to pay. Refuses to pay. It's not that you don't have the money. I'm not saying he won't. Jalen Johnson is in $17.3 million corner. You can't, because your two corners right now have you in a hole. You're going to have, hey, will you eat dead cap money on Bradbury and move him? You ate dead cap money before with Carson Wentz. Will you do it again? Will you do that again? Here's another great one. We mentioned this in the first hour, just to go over the shopping list. Antonio Winfield is a safety. He's a 7th-rated prospect in free agency. He's worth $18.4 a year. How he's paying $18 million, $20 million for his safety? Hey, Howie Roseman is going to pay $20 million. Here's the problem you have on defense. Well, Howie use a first. Xander, this is incredibly entertaining. So will Howie draft a safety at first? Will Howie ever use a first rounder at safety? Yes or no? Will he ever use a first rounder to draft a safety? He could have had the kid in Baltimore, but got Jordan Davis instead. Do you think, okay, 11, I'll just take you. You guys there, he'll never draft. Okay. Do you think Howie Roseman would ever spend $18.4 million for a safety? No. So, okay. Let's not go with the highest paid guy. Let me give you another safety. Geno Stone from Baltimore. 44th ranked. 14.5. You think Howie would pay 14.5 for a safety? Look at LJ. Frankie Louiva. His market value right now is $13.2 million. Is Howie Roseman going to pay $13.2 million for? By the way, these aren't my numbers. Are they going to pay $13.2 million to a linebacker? Check that guy off. He's a player. I think he is a player. Is your GM going to spend $12.5 million on Frankie? I'm glad you're good with it, Chris. Okay? That's not a random website. This is from the general manager of the Carolina Panthers, Dan Morgan. Think I go off a website? This is from Dan Morgan. You missed the first hour, Junior. Go back and rewatch it. Love Dan. One of my guys. He loved the fact I voted him into the Hall of Fame in college football, too. Always good. That one's a hard one. Okay. And hey, Dab, that's for sure. Fans think Fangio's going to turn Scrubs into Ray Lewis. All of a sudden, Zach Cunningham is going to be Ray Lewis. Dan, can you get Dan Morgan on after the draft? Probably. I've had him on numerous times. He worked up in Seattle a little bit. I can also get Lonzo Highsmith. He's a senior executive of the college draft for the Patriots now. And they're all at the combines. I was telling Xander, hell of a time getting people on right now because everyone's at the combines. So I can get Highsmith on. He works in New England in the front office and personnel department. I can get on Dan Morgan, the general manager of the Carolina Panthers, the senior executive that helps with the college scouting and pro scouting with the Steelers. We've had Dan, what's his name? Kevin Colbert. He's been on. Telesco, I'm working on him, the general manager of the Raiders. He's been on too. So we'll get all those guys on. I talked to all those guys. This is where I get the numbers from. What's his market value? Oh, this guy's going to command somewhere in the range of $10 to $13 million. Let's see, safety. Here's another one. Julian Blackman, ranked 70th. Is how we going to pay $9 million for a safety? Is he? Is he going to pay $9 million for a safety? ESPN said the Eagles are in full rebuild mode. Yeah, they absolutely are. Then you had that nice fireside chat going on today. Xander texted me before the show. He goes, "Are you watching this?" I said, "Yeah." So we're here to develop. We got a lot of young, good players on defense. When he said that, I turned it off. I knew it. When he said that, he basically echoed that stupid Liars Club press conference they had at the season ender. He actually said today, we got a lot of young guys who haven't done it yet. How do you know they're good then? Is that an opinion? What are you basing it on? Being in the tub? Nakobe Dean is a bust. Yeah, but Sills, he might be a player. We'll never know because he's a schwimp. He's a schwimp. Hey, even me, I'm wrong. Van Ginkel? This guy's a $17.5 million edge rusher. Now, let me ask you this. So you're telling maybe the fifth best edge rusher to go find and see if someone loves you more than us. Do you think hey, let me ask this to you. Do you actually believe in your heart that the Eagles really want – here, let's start here. How many people believe the Eagles really want Haason Reddick back? How many people believe they want Reddick back? Do you tell a player this? Well, hey, look, if somebody loves you more, let us know. And get this, that dumbass take. Well, he wants too much. You ever hear of the word negotiating? You gave the guy a free lane to leave your organization. Most organizations want to keep guardrails on their top flight players. They don't give them open lanes to leave. That's an open lane to leave. Hey, AJ, we want you back. Why don't you go out in the open market? You'd be gobbled up in a second. Probably at more money. You don't let your best players, you don't talk to your best players like this. Hey, if you could find a better price than what we're paying you now, there's your door. That's basically what they told them. Yeah, I'm not saying that's not the case. I'm saying that is the case. They kind of want him back. Yale asked a great question. What's the value on Reddick? I think it determines what the team is. I think it determines on where you are as a unit and how good and if you're a piece away. You see, Reddick is a piece away. And by the way, remember something. Have you ever heard of an elite pass rusher cut twice in 4 years? I must have missed J.J. Reddick or Myles Garrett or Khalil Mack or Von Miller waived twice in a 4-year span. I missed that. This guy's been cut, which means they couldn't figure it out. And if you're not here and you want to know why, you want to know why he was cut? Do you want to know why? He was on 2 shitty defenses. Now he's on another shitty defense. That's why he's not worth his value. He's on another shitty defense like he was in Carolina and Arizona. And that's why the Eagles showed him the door and said, you can find a better place, go ahead. Actually, you can look at it as an insult, but you can also go, hey, man, maybe there's a team out there that'll pay you more money. Like San Francisco, they're going to lose Randy Gregory and probably Chase Young. Maybe he goes to San Francisco and he fits into that system because they got the money because they're not paying the quarterback. Get this. Somebody may pay him $25 million, but it ain't going to be Philly. You're missing this. I'm not fighting you on this. I'm telling you what the Eagles are doing. I'm not fighting anybody. They showed him the door. I'm not fighting anybody. Texans have the money. Indianapolis has the money. Washington has the money. Jacksonville has some money. San Francisco doesn't have the money. They're $300,000 or $570,000 under the cap. So they probably don't. Well, it depends. Young, Gregory, they're probably not that much of a difference. So he probably doesn't fit in San Fran because they don't have the dough. Okay? That's right, Wayne. Wayne, like in 22, they didn't have to worry about Reddick's inability to cover tight ends and make tackles. They just wound him up and let him run into quarterbacks. And he was devastating. When he's allowed to do just the one thing, he's great at it. But when you ask him to do multiple things, he can't. And that's why the Eagles don't want to pay him $20 million. Personally, I don't think they want to pay him over $15 million. Bird says, by that logic, trade Reddick. No, they don't want it. Well, maybe they do. You're not understanding what I'm saying, dog. The Eagles opened the door for being traded for him publicly. I didn't say it. They publicly opened the door for him. You guys are crazy, man. Dude, even me, Kyle Duggar, the kid that I recommended from Patriots, he's got a $16.5 million price tag per year annually. He's the 31st highest ranked safety. 16.5? How he's paying $16 million for a safety? Never happened. This is why when we started the program out, stay in your lane. Now, there's also another angle to this. Stay the course or pivot. Are you going to spend money? If you spend money, your chances of getting back to respectability on defense all of a sudden get greater. But if you decide to say what you said at the combines today, we have a lot of young players on our team that just haven't shown it yet, but we believe in them. Then you're not going anywhere. And this is a massive rebuild. Someone go, Sills, you don't really think the offense is a massive rebuild? Fundamentally, I do. With schematically. Yeah. How about this? Would you not agree with all the money you spent on offense last year? The offense underachieved. Did the offense last year under or overachieve? Did they? Well, yeah, they didn't spend any money on the lines because they're on rookie deals at the DT tackle position. The offense underachieved. 20 turnovers, 1-7 down the stretch, and a pathetic showing of offense. Your wide receiver didn't show up. Your big money receiver didn't show up for 9 games. You were outrushed every week from week 11 on. I mean, you had no power running game whatsoever. And your offense, you were being beaten by, you couldn't, how many points did you, get this, what made that whole thing so pathetic? What was the score of the Bucks game, the playoff game? What was the score of the playoff game? Was it 31-7? Was that the score? What was the score? I forget. 31-10? You guys have not only a shitload of talent, 32-9. Flexin, you want to hear something crazy? The Buccaneers, I think, only scored 9 points versus Carolina the week before. And they blasted the Eagles, and the Eagles couldn't score 10 points in the game. And they overachieved. And you spent all that money? Sills, can a team say rebuilding with a $50 million quarterback? That's traditionally what happens when you – now, it's not fair to say that because Jalen Hurts' contract doesn't really hurt the team. It hurts the owner's pocketbook more than it does the cap. One thing that I'll say to you, if you don't mind giving the kid $50 million for 20 turnovers and you want to talk about developing him, giving him a couple years, that's one thing. The owner probably is pissed off because he's not getting his investment in return or his return on investment. But when it comes to the cap, your corners cost you more equity in the cap than your quarterback does. Your corners are killing you. They're just killing you. I want you to think about what the Bucks did to you. The Bucks couldn't score more than 9 points versus Carolina in the playoff game. And you couldn't score 10 points with all that millions of dollars on offense. You couldn't score 10 points on the Bucks. The Bucks. And that was by far. You know what? The Cowboy and Niner game were embarrassing, but to get destroyed by the Bucks, who you had beaten earlier and crushed, and you couldn't put 10 points up against them, that was embarrassing. That was the most embarrassing loss of the year, even against Seattle. Completely embarrassing. 10 points with all that money and your boy AJ. Woo-ha! Man, how you doing? Absolutely. Of course under? Seriously? Of course they under. Chris says, of course they under. Oh, wait a minute, Chris. Oh, this was all Brian Johnson's fault. Not Jalen. Not the players. It's all Brian. You have to have a scapegoat. And then you keep the billy goat. And Nick. Nick's the billy goat. He ain't a goat. He's the billy goat. Hey, and don't get it confused here. Okay? Don't get it confused. All right? You got a good organization. You just can't get out of your own way. AJ was hurt, that's right, for the Buck game. He was at a boxing match in Atlantic City with his buddies drinking, watching the game. Hey, man, there's my boys. Real commitment. AJ Owens in Vegas at a boxing match. Boxing on Sunday. Hanging out at the bar with my boy Philly Godfather there in AC. Shaking it up, man. Pulling the lever. Blackjack. Hey, there's my team getting murdered on Sunday. How you doing? Blackjack. Yes, sir, baby. AJ Owens. Can't get any better than that guy, man. Woo. Oh, man. Snake eyes. Yes, sir. Snake eyes. Hey, I don't want to be with my team. I'm going to hang out with the girlies in AC, baby. You got it. Let's go here, man. Rock and roll. Swift 10 carries. Oh, because you had a dominant run game. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. AJ is now in time. No, he ain't that bad. Who's the one guy, Le'Veon Bell, who used to put his tweets upside down and was kind of like, who was that serial killer out in San Francisco who used to do all that stuff? Zodiac. This guy, Le'Veon Bell would give you like Zodiac, like tweets. The rebel is the devil. And you had to turn your tweet upside down to read it. Oh, okay. He hates Pittsburgh. Wayne says, Dan, have you ever seen a team quit like that in all your years of football? I've never seen a nuclear meltdown like that on a team that was 10-1. I've never seen that in my entire life, watching a team just nuclear meltdown like that. Absolutely not. I've never seen that. Yeah. No, AJ Owens was making it rain. It just shows me what kind of lack of heart and will that you have in the locker room with your players too. It's time for a complete rebuild. You got to get a lot of the cancers out of your locker room. You got a bunch of cancers in there. Guy from the Enquirer reported on it today. What's his name, Xander? Marcus Haynes? I've seen him on with Birds. Am I saying it right? Said that the locker room has guys in the locker room whispering again like they did with Wentz and Foles. They treat everybody different. They treat Jalen different than this guy over here. Then treat that guy over there. Shut up and play. Collect your paycheck and earn your place and earn your spot in the locker room, not by moaning and bitching and crying. And as I started my show out, and I'll do it again, this is the only time I'll ever defend Nick here in this. Treating everyone the same. I don't treat Queasy Watkins like Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown for a reason. You know why? You're a marshmallow. You've got brick hands, and you whine. A.J. whines, but he's productive. And the only reason he's on my team is because he is productive. Because if he wasn't, A.J. Owens wouldn't be on my team. But he's productive. You, Queasy, you're a marshmallow. I mean, he's probably the only wide receiver in pro football that could get his ass kicked in a pillow fight. I mean, my God almighty, this guy won't fight for footballs on the field. I guarantee you, this guy would get his ass kicked in a pillow fight. He's an all-season elite receiver. He tells you all the time how good he is. You got guys in your locker room crying that some guys are being treated differently. This is the woke-ass mentality that some of you have, that everybody should be treated equal. Oh, why? How come he gets treated better than me? Because you suck and he's good. You know, but everybody should be, no, we're not talking about talking to you like a man. Everyone should be spoken to with respect in a locker room. Yes. But when it comes to guys getting like Jason Kelsey not having to practice. Okay?